What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter from Panda here. I've been looking for a cheap but good treadmill, so I picked up this. My old treadmill bit the dust, and in the winter in the Midwest, it gets snowy and gross outside, so you need something to keep the legs moving. It's by MaxKare, and this is what I guess it looks like. It comes in this pretty big box here. But one of the things that I really liked is that the reviews were pretty positive on it, and it also was not that expensive. The other thing that's really important to me on this is that it looks like you have these little articulating arm here so that the back can raise up and down, and that will give you a little bit of incline. Obviously not as much as, say, a health club treadmill, but to have a little bit of elevation change on that allows you to kind of vary the workout from just strolling to a little more intensity. So let's get this thing set up and take a look at it. So I went ahead and opened the box, and there's some packaging material and some plastic that I removed. I just kind of wanted to see what you're in for. The whole thing is actually assembled. So this whole little kit of stuff that we get here, I think, is mostly just to fix everything in place. So, for example, the computer and the tray and everything like that, this articulating arm goes up, and then we get locked in place. And what you might be able to see here is the treadmill is all attached. So one of the things that I will probably recommend is I would take it out of the box like this and move it to wherever you want its final location to be, because it is pretty heavy. It's going to be a two-person job, and then finish setting it up there, which is what I'm going to do. Now I've got the treadmill ready to assemble, and these instructions leave a little to be desired. It's interesting, they've got the screws numbered here, but I can't figure out where these numbers come from. So I'm going to say right now that the caps that go on the back right here to cover up that exposed metal are probably going to use these screws, 2 of them on each of them, and then these short screws to tighten it up from the bottom as well. So I'll put those on first. So those will go in just like that, and then these screws will go right in here, and then you'll tighten them in with the little Phillips screwdriver tool that they give you. All right, and then on the back of this computer tray, you do have to kind of lock this in place, and you'll see there's 2 screws, one over here and one over there. So I think you're going to use these shorter screws right here with the washers on them. So you'll use 2 of those. Let's get them in. And you're going to want to use this Allen key here to tighten them down. Then you're going to lift the computer up, and in that hole right there, we're going to use these long screws. And my top tip is don't tighten either one of them down until you get them both started and threaded, because you might have to adjust by moving the arm a little bit to kind of get them in there. But once both of them are threaded in there to begin with, then you can tighten these suckers down. And because more is always better, we do have another hole right there, and you have 2 more of these short screws. So you're going to put that in there, and that will make sure that this arm is locked in place. And in that hole right there, you also have this little safety pin. So that goes right in there. And now on the back here, what you can see is you have this little leg, and this will go up and down and give you elevation. And so what you have is a pin right here too. That comes out so that you can elevate this up, and you'll definitely want to use 2 hands. It's not super heavy, but then you can put the pin in here. So it's not automatic, and that will either keep it fairly level, or if you put it in this lower position, give you some more elevation. So, you can make the adjustment that way. And the great thing with this pin is now if I pull this out, I can lift up this and put the pin back in, and it becomes very compact, vertical for easy storing. Cool. And then the last thing you have to do is the safety cutoff switch here, which looks like it's magnetic and should just go right there. And then you can clip this to yourself, so if you fall off, it'll shut the thing down. Pull off the plastic here for the screen. Once you have your treadmill plugged in, there is a power switch right down here. So that'll go on. And then we have the display, and I really love that this display does not run on additional batteries. So a lot of them require some AA's or 9 volts, things like that. I'm really liking the fact that the treadmill is powered. Now, I will also say that it looks like we have on the hand grips here some heart rate monitors, which is pretty awesome. I didn't expect that. And you can see here the controls: start, stop, speed, up and down, and program and mode. So these are the different programs. So you can have some different intervals. Then you can see time, distance, calories burned, and speed. So if we go ahead and start it. Ooh, and it counts down. Yeah, baby. Works. If we hit the speed up here. 2 miles an hour, nice little walking pace. I'm in my socks because that natural barefoot is so much more connected with our primal heritage. I tell you what, it's pretty quiet. I'm talking in my normal voice. Some of these treadmills are so loud. It does come with a bottle of oil, so I'm sure there's a place to oil it up, but man, right out of the gate, this thing is working. Dude, I love it. Hey, if you want to pick up this MaxKare, it's actually much easier to set up than I expected. And it stores pretty nicely. It doesn't have a ton of features, but it works, man. I love it. Check it out. Put your drink right there, too. I'll put a link to it in the description. Peter Von Panda. Out.